Get some reaction now. Sysman Motloung is a lecturer of political studies and international relations lecturer at Northwest University. He joins us now to give us his perspective. Sysman, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Firstly, how do you interpret the significance of the Siyanqoba Rally, especially in the context of the recent EFF victory in the Makasi Hills Ward 3 by-election there?
Yeah, Nhlanhla, good afternoon. I think this is a very important moment for the EFF, and what they are doing, going back to these communities that have voted them to say thank you, is also a build-up to next year's elections. So they have to be seen with the people at some point or other level. This element of a gratitude presents a party as a humble, the sense of humility. So this is very important for them. And like I say, it's a build-up to next year's election, so they have to be on the ground.
So the residents of Mpumalanga expressed hope for improved service delivery after the EFF victory there. How do you see the role of community expectations in really shaping political agendas?
You know, community expectations have been there. Look at the governing party. Wherever it's governing, it has a supermajority in municipalities around the country. There's always that expectation, but that expectation does not translate to actual delivery because the community is not involved. It has no control as to tomorrow where will a rubbish truck come or where water will be delivered and so forth. It is the quality of your political officials, or rather your representatives, into how they hold the officials in public administration accountable for that kind of service delivery. Therefore, it is important that EFF delivers on those expectations in how it holds accountable the administrators on the articulation of services. So it is very important for them to deliver instead, so that next year they get a better vote, and with the local government elections in coming years, they also win more municipalities, even retain the ward that they have taken.
So, Sysman, different political parties have unique approaches, such as the DA's Woza 2024 campaign and also Siyanqoba Rally with the EFF. Now, how do these strategies reflect this evolving political landscape and the party's responsiveness to current challenges in South Africa?
Yeah, you have the political culture in South Africa being that of a mass engagement when it comes to elections. And the mass engagement at some point involves the element of excitement. Now, it's a matter of how effective these political parties design their experiences. So when they engage with the communities, how communities feel as if they are convinced, or in my view, it's also an emotion. What kind of emotions they evoke in order to win their support for elections. Then you've seen previously the element of a governing party where they would even provide food, parcels, and you see government officials going to open or hand over new houses and title deeds. This is very important when it's time of electioneering, because it creates a perception of a government that is delivering. But for an opposition party, that is different, because they cannot show so much about a road that they've constructed, houses that they have built. EFF has been different to others. We know EFF has built houses somewhere. Even now with their celebration of a birthday, they took a very novel, innovative approach of going to communities through theater, through art, in engaging with communities. They even refurbished ECD centers. So it is important that political parties, with the little resources they have, to establish rapport with communities, build infrastructure, at least to demonstrate over when they are in power what it is they can deliver. So EFF, for me, has done better in using its resources to provide a sample of what they could do as a government in power.
To take the words of EFF leader Julius Malema, he mentions that victory in the Northwest is a sign that the Red Berets are ready to govern. How do you assess the party's readiness for governance, especially considering the challenges faced in the province?
Yeah, the EFF we can see in Ekurhuleni, and we can see in the city of Johannesburg, and recently we've seen those reports, the results that are coming, that EFF is starting to win certain wards. It is not at a pace, I think, that the EFF was expecting, because it seems as if people still have not had that confidence or they can entrust EFF with power. But I think with the rhetoric and with the kind of things that they've done, like I referred to with their birthday now, and even before their birthday, they have been building houses and refurbishing early childhood centers. So I would want to think that EFF is to some extent ready. Now what we have to see how in these municipalities, it's not a complete control of a municipality. This is another challenge, that a political party winning a ward, it is still stifled because decision-making happens in a council. Your one councillor cannot persuade an 80 or 40 councillors in a local council. So that's developing. I think in time, we need to see the majority of support and taking over municipalities. Then we can now analyze better how EFF can govern.
So Julius Malema's call for free education is also a significant part of the party's agenda. How much such advocacy resonate with voters, and what impact could it have on the political landscape in South Africa?
That aspect of education, I don't know why he's still talking about it, because I don't think so much we have a problem of free education. And I'll come to the one part now. That aspect of free education does not really make a difference to a parent or a child at a primary school at an ECD, because government is already implementing that. But I think what you should emphasize a lot is with universities, because we have seen with the Rose Fees Must Fall movement, there was that aspect of the missing middle, where you have children who still cannot afford a higher education. Therefore, I think EFF could be speaking to that aspect, especially for young people who are in universities. We've seen EFF winning several SRC positions in different universities. Then I think this message should be going there and taken by young people who aspire to go to universities, and they feel they don't qualify for NSFAS funding. Therefore, the EFF government is saying, we will give you free education even at a university. That will resonate a lot with the young people.
So, Sysman, in light of the DA's Woza 2024 campaign and also the ANC's manifesto review, how do you compare the approaches of these major parties in really engaging with their constituencies?
You see, ANC with the review, we could look, when ANC wanted to come back with the local government elections, it was saying, give us one more chance. It was like, one last chance. We know we messed up, but can you forgive us? We want one more chance. And now with the review, they're trying to have the public see a positive change, and this should be a cumulative effect. Since 1994, what have we done as ANC in power? And now evaluate us on this or on that track record, and you should entrust us with power again. And the DA is trying to communicate a message, for me, that is not so resonant with and it's about political culture. The DA is amassing power to a constituency that has lost trust, because there's that perception of DA is a white party, represents white interests, and the exodus of your elite leaders from the DA have even strengthened those perceptions. I don't think DA has responded effectively to talking to that narrative of race politics within itself. Now, this kind of agenda, or rather a campaign that they are driving at, is also a campaign that wants to link other political parties. They are working towards a coalition government. They are not campaigning or communicating a message of a complete confidence and trust that the electorate will give them power. For me, it's a campaign normal, but they should be doing better to address that narrative of race politics. That is the opening for them to victory.
Sysman, as we wrap up, the EFF rally and the ANC manifesto review seem to also involve direct engagement with communities. You touched on this issue a short while ago. How important is it that we have this community engagement for political parties, and how does it influence public perception as well?
For public perception is important, and it's something that I've been observing and saying for over time, that we have this political culture of seasonal engagement with the people. When it is elections, you see this vibe and hive of activity by political parties engaging the people, but you don't see them after elections. You know there's a ward councillor there, there's complaining over there, but you don't see a big political party program that is sustained after elections. And for me, that is where political parties can shape a public sentiment and perceptions of a party that represents them, that even though you're not in power, you'll stand with us. And here we see how the EFF has been doing, establishing a labor desk and making people understand if you should have a labor dispute, you should come to us. And I think this is a very creative way and a very good opportunity, even though I don't think EFF is using optimally. Be present throughout. Let people know when they have a labor dispute, when they have a legal dispute, when they have a domestic dispute, any social dispute, any political dispute, you are able to respond as a political party. They know you are there to open doors for them, because a political party is a bridge between the people and government. That needs a political party to be present throughout. Don't occur and be more visible only when it is a time of an election.
Sysman Motloung, thank you for providing valuable insights into the political dynamics surrounding the EFF's